Welcome, my friends. Welcome to Unknown Sounds video show. Now, today is a great show. We're gonna talk to the lead singer from the wonderful Sunpin Leaves. We're also gonna play some of their videos. So let's get them in now. We're gonna speak to Christopher Brown of the Sunpin Leaves.
Hi.
Hello, Chris. How are you?
I'm really good, Pete. Thank you. Nice to see you on this overcast Sunday morning in October.
Very English weather here today.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. Or even maybe San Francisco a little bit.
That's true. Yeah.
Not quite as foggy. But...
So we're going to talk about you and your band and all the music you do and some of your wonderful videos. What do you think?
That sounds lovely, Pete. Yeah, cool. Okay.
So the Sunpin Leaves is you and Neil Faulkner, is that right?
Primarily, yeah. We occasionally were joined by the odd musician or whatever, but it's pretty much the two of us.
Mm-hmm. That's
me doing vocals and Neil doing all of the instruments and some vocals too.
Oh, very interesting. So
yeah.
So you have quite a hefty catalog of music, don't you?
Yeah, we've released 6 albums in we actually released them in 4 years, although I'd say it covers a period of 5 years perhaps. But
wow.
Yeah, 62 songs, I think.
Wow, that's great.
yeah. Hopefully there's enough in there to make a decent set for you later in the year.
I'm sure it's gonna. Yeah, fantastic. What I'd like to do is I'd like to play one of your songs now, one of the videos. It's from your newest album, Tales from the Great Lakes.
Okay, yeah.
And this is a beautiful song. I love this one. It is called. Let me just bring it up here. Sorry, I'm not very good at this kind of stuff.
No rush. This is it's a Sunday morning, isn't it?
Lakes and Skies.
Took a road trip from Chicago in the fall, not to Mackinac, the highway calls. Cool brews in Milwaukee, sweet curds in Green Bay. Autumn colours fill the windshield, getting brighter every day. Those lakes and skies, they get you high. We let 'em in, then life begins. On a boat trip out of Munsing in the rain, saw the painted rocks and hit the road again. Watched the sunset in St. Ignace, toast s'mores upon the beach. Ann Arbor to St. Joseph, make friends you wanna keep. Those lakes and skies, they get you high. We let 'em in, then life begins. Ice blue days, jet black nights. Those lakes and skies, they'll get you high. Those lakes and skies, they get you high.
fantastic.
Thank you.
Oh, mate, it's such a lovely song.
It's my favourite on the album, actually. I'll be honest. Yeah, it's a nice, upbeat, feel good sort of happy number, and it's based on true events, so that always helps, doesn't it, to give it some heart.
And your voice is incredible on that one. It's very soothing, very relaxing. You know, you feel like you're listening to a friend. It's really great.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a little bit it's that kind of sat around the campfire, and Neil's voice on that as well really elevates it. You know, because Neil, I've got a quite high voice, so I have to reach to get down there. Neil's got a slightly higher voice than mine, so that kind of works well on that.
Yeah,
that song, I think. There's a couple of little things in there that I put in for a bit of fun. So I sing it as Munsing. Okay. Now I believe the correct pronunciation is Munsing.
Oh, right.
But I heard a Canadian guy on the boat we were on refer to it as Munsing. And I thought, you know what? I've had so many years of giving American tourists directions to Leicester Square. I'm going to get one back. So I called it Munsing.
Nice one.
And the other thing is that I refer to it as the painted rocks.
Yeah.
And it's actually the pictured rocks national coastline, but one of the features where it looks like an artist's palette with run paint is called painted rocks. So it is actually correct. But I'll just throw that in there just in case anyone
that's
says,
great.
well, hell, that's wrong, because, you know. No, I'm glad you like it, Pete. I really like that one.
Yeah, it's a great one. And you can follow it along too. You can follow your trip through the towns that you mention. Yeah,
that's right. And I mean, there's some beautiful places that we saw, and you know, yeah. Well, have you drunk brews in Milwaukee? And
no, I actually have not been in that part of the world yet. Let's explain to the audience, though, that this whole album was inspired by a road trip of yours, wasn't it?
Yeah, me and my wife Anne took a road trip around the Great Lakes last fall. So we were out there at this time last year. I keep getting Facebook reminders with pictures of it, feeling all nostalgic. And so when I came back, Neil started sending these musical sketches through, and I was putting lyrics to them. And then we had a rehearsal, and I said, look, these new songs are from the Great Lakes sort of trip. Are you all right with doing an album dedicated to that, or do you not like the idea? Because if you don't, we won't do it. He said, no, I love it. I think another concept album like the last one would be good. So that's what we did. They're all inspired by mainly genuine events, but a few fictional characters in some of the songs as well.
Yeah, very interesting. And I like those little. I saw at the end it said additional photographs by you. Was that the s'mores in there?
Yes, it was. It was the s'mores.
Yeah,
that we had on the beach with. There weren't quite so many people as in the video, but yeah, that was. I added the s'mores and the pictures of St. Joseph Lighthouse.
Yeah,
there was a couple that we met in Ann Arbor who were from St. Joseph, and we were going to go to another town as our next stop, and they said, well, you know, we're biased, but we live in St. Joseph and we love it. And we think it's a nicer town than this other place, which I'm not going to slag that one. So we went there, and it was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. And we met up with them and had a coffee and a pastry in this bar. And they were really nice people. We had a really, really lovely time.
That's great. So your inspiration, you take it from your trips and what you see around you. And we did a chatting tracks with Robbie the other day, and talked about the Sunpin Leaves a lot, and I mentioned that it's incredible to me that you can come away from this experience and have a whole album of songs. You know, when you were traveling, is that what you were thinking? Were you thinking, oh, this would make a good song? Did you write notes and all that kind of stuff?
I didn't write notes as such, but I suppose you could say, well, taking pictures on your camera phone are like visual notes, if you like. Yeah. So, you know, I have a picture of the people that we met in Ann Arbor, and the sand dunes at the National Sand Dune, blah blah blah. And it did cross my mind that there might be a couple of songs in it, and I kind of thought, well, would it stretch to an album? And then I thought, well, if we go historical on it as well,
Yeah.
then I think we could have done it all in the present, I suppose, and but I thought we kind of do it a bit like we did with the last one, and so I had half a mind there, but I don't, you've got to let it go a bit, otherwise you won't enjoy the present.
Of course, yeah.
We're all living in the past and the future, and not, like dogs, enjoying what's in front of us sometimes.
Moment, yeah, great. So you came back with these ideas, and you put together some lyrics. Is that how the creative process within you and Neil usually work? He sends you some kind of some music, and then you put words to it.
Well, we've done it all different ways, Pete. To be honest with you, I mean, back in the day, in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, I would tend to give Neil some lyrics, and he put music to it.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that with the first album, except some of them were already written, because there was 7 of those songs were already written, but we rearranged and rewrote the lyrics a bit and stuff. But with your favourite album, or one of your favourite, Transgenre Express, the second one, we did that as well. So, for instance, Paranoia was a lyric that I sent to Neil.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be a kind of more of a, I don't know, a moody, sinister sort of thing. And he went bang, rock on it. And I love it, it was great. We did that, but also there was, he sent me some music and said, do you want to put a lyric vocal to this? So we've done that. So the answer to your question is that we do it all different ways. It's, and it works.
Yeah, it definitely works. It definitely works. And since you mentioned Paranoia, how about we play that really great video right now?
Okay, and I'll give you a couple of details about it afterwards. Okay.
That sounds great. Here we go.
An apartment block, other side of the road. On the second floor, someone wants a show. Curtains shift and twitch, fingers probe the gap. A glimpse of hands and face as the curtains are pulled back. From a window across the street, there's someone watching me. I wonder who you are as I watch you watching me. From a window across the street, there's someone watching me. I wonder who you are as I watch you watching me. I'll train binoculars on the secrets that you keep. Knowledge will be power when I see who wants to see me. From a window across the street, there's someone watching me. I wonder who you are as I watch you watching me. From a window across the street, there's someone watching me. I wonder who you are as I watch you watching me. I'm using Digicam, focus on your window. I capture your image and a little bit of your soul. And a little bit of your soul. And a little bit of your soul. From a window across the street, there's someone watching me. I wonder who you are as I watch you watching me. From a window across the street, there's someone watching me. I wonder who you are as I watch you watching me. Across the street, there's someone watching me. I wonder who you are as I watch you watching me. From a window across the street, there's someone watching me. I wonder who you are As I watch you watching, you're always watching. From a window across the street, there's someone watching me. Wonder who you are. As I watch you watching me. From a window across the street, there's someone watching me. Wonder who you are. As I watch you watching me. Watching, watching, you're always watching.
I love that one.
Neil did a lovely job with the music on that to make it bounce. He did he says he thinks it's a bit Sleaford mods. I don't know. He wasn't trying to copy that style. He just listened back to it. It's sort of fits in that.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. Well, it's very, very musically interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you where the idea came from. Okay, so in a previous house years ago, a guy moved in across the road, and it felt like he was always standing at his window, looking across at us. And I'd say to my wife, "Oh, he's doing it again. He's doing it." And she said, "Do you think maybe he's standing there and looking at you, looking at him, and thinking the same thing?"
Yeah.
So. 10 years later or whatever, I'm thinking, maybe like you're paranoid, but you're actually the voyeur yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's you that's, so that's where that came from. And we were going to do that song live years ago when just after the album came out. I think we played some songs from Transgenre Express sort of live on a radio show just about 2 weeks before lockdown.
Oh.
And so we never did do that song, or we were going to do Care Of as well.
Wow.
And a couple of others from that album, but the lockdown kind of flattened all that, and then Neil wrote another album's worth of songs during lockdown, which became the third album. But that particular song, it's quite a challenge because Neil wrote the chorus in 3 different keys. And he said that he did something as well. The other thing he did, which was unusual, is most songs, the pitch goes up, doesn't it? At the end of it used to. That used to be the 70s, 80s thing, I suppose. Now it's not. But it would go up. That was the deal trick. But this actually goes down. So if you listen to the choruses, it starts up, there's and then the line, there's so it's kind of
exactly. Yeah.
There's a couple of details about that one.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Neil does all the music, is that right?
Yeah, I mean, he drums. Sometimes he drums a song, and other times he will create the drum tracks. But he said he will only create drum tracks that he can actually play himself, if you see what I mean. Okay. So sometimes the drums is him playing it. Sometimes bass guitar is him, rhythm lead guitar is him, the keyboards are him. And the extra, the jazz bits. Occasionally we use someone like on Bodie, met a guy online who did play the slide guitar. Yeah. Neil doesn't play slide guitar, but he will, there's a banjo sound on one of the songs which Neil played on a mandolin, I think. So, there's different ways. So yeah, he's a very, very, in my humble opinion, he's a very talented musician, apart from being a good songsmith and producer. So he's quite versatile and talented is our Neil.
So you guys don't live close together, do you?
No, we back in the day, of course, we met in the 70s and we did live close together. We lived, we could walk to each other's houses in 10 minutes. He moved out to Southend around the time we lost touch, sort of I think mid 80s or early 90s. He moved out to Southend, and I moved out from Caterham, Surrey to Sutton, so I didn't move as far and stuff. And then more recently, Neil's in Harwich as of this year, and I'm in Deal in Kent. So if we rehearse, we he has to cross the Dartford Tunnel or Bridge or whatever. We meet in Dartford, and or does he have to cross? Yes, he does. And I get the train up there. And we meet in a studio in Dartford and do our thing. As far as the recording goes, I used to go to his house in Suffolk, and do the vocals on the first 2 albums. But then because of COVID, Neil suggested that I install Audacity. I purchased a decent recording microphone, and recorded the vocals at home. And that's what we've done for the last 4 albums. And I basically record the vocals, and I send him dry stems, as they call. And he does. I'd love to go, I'm just going to stick some reverb on and stick. No, but I send it to him dry, and then it's up to him what he does with it.
So he does all the technical. He brings all the tracks together and produces it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's a song on the 5th album called Brilliant Jewel, which was quite popular. And he said to me, there's 124 tracks on this.
Wow.
He said, and I don't know what some of them are. I can't. I take it out and I can't hear the difference. Wow. It's like you can go, but then other songs are 10 track, 15. Yeah. So it's not like that every time. But there's always, on every album, there always seems to be one song that he's thinking, this isn't going to make the album. It can't. And they nearly always seems to manage to nearly always save it. So, wow. Like the last album, it was November Witch. That was the one that nearly didn't make it.
God, you mentioned back in the 70s. So you and Neil have been working together for quite a while now.
Yeah. So the way we met, was we met at school, to Stafford School in Caterham, Surrey, South London, if you prefer. And the first time I was aware of Neil was 1971. We were on opposite teams in the inter-class 5-a-side football annual contest. And we won it. And Neil's form teacher was so annoyed, he wanted a replay against our class. So we had a replay, and we were 1-0 up, and they had the opportunity to equalise with a penalty, and I was a goalkeeper. And by luck more than judgment, I saved it from Neil. So that was 71. And then 74, I started writing lyrics. I guess I was inspired by people like Steve Harley, David Bowie. Oh, yeah. And in a sort of theatrical way, Alice Cooper, I guess. And John Denver, of course.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So, and then I suppose they were like poems in a way, like writing song lyrics. It was a bit like writing poems. And I had this red folder, this red binder, and I used to carry it around at school like a kind of a bargain basement Lord Byron, hoping that some young lady would be impressed.
Lovely.
But what I got instead was Neil, in that he was writing music, and he wanted some lyrics to do, and he had a look through and he found some he liked. So I went to his house, where he and another school friend called Baron Lavelle, Neil had written 3 songs and Barry got 1, I think. And I heard what they'd done with it, and I was really flattered and amazed that someone would take my words and put what I thought was great music to it. But then came the shock and said, okay, we wanted to sing it. And I thought, that was... I don't remember that being part of it. So that's how it started. That's how me and Neil started at school.
Fantastic. Chris, I think you and I have a mutual friend.
Right.
Steve Nash of the Anabolic Steroids.
Oh, yeah. Lovely guy. Lovely guy.
Did I hear him right when he said that you guys were in a punk band together?
No, what it was, I met Steve and the band about 5 years ago, something like that, at the Dublin Castle, when me and Neil were playing with the old band, Nothing, with Steve and Paul there, and we were on the same bill as the Anabolic Steroids. Oh, so right. That's how. And he's a lovely guy, very supportive, and the band were great the other night at the Lighthouse in Deal. Great, good fun. And good musicianship and stuff as well. Yeah, the crowd, good turnout, and they really enjoyed it.
Fantastic. Yeah, I've seen them. They're really fun to watch. And
when did you see them then?
I saw Anabolic Steroids with Some Dogs at the Hope and Anchor.
Ah, okay, yeah.
It was a lot of fun. When I first met Steve, because of course Steve had sent music into Unknown Sounds, so we played some, and And then he
Yes.
met me there, and I met him there, and yeah, he's been a good friend. Like you said, he's very, very supportive and nice guy.
Yeah.
A 60-year-old punk rocker.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. They're good guys. They're good guys.
Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoyed the evening. Very good indeed.
So you've played a lot in a lot of different venues. What are your favorite venues around London?
Well, I shouldn't say this really, should I? Because but I love the Dublin Castle. The Hope and Anchor that has a lot of memories particularly for Neil, who was there when the punk thing was taken off. I never actually went to the Hope and Anchor back in the day.
Oh.
In the 70s, but Neil did. And saw Ita play there with Paul, the bassist from the old band, and we've played the what's it called now? Oh, the name's escaping me. We've played the 100 Club.
Oh yeah,
with the old band.
Yep.
That's a good fun place. I really like the Lighthouse, which is, it's very local to me, so that that's a likable thing. But it's a nice venue for a lot of variety and some really, really great musicians, And of course, I went there this week to see Anabolic Steroids.
Oh, fantastic!
But it's there's a lot of they have Sundays. There's a lot of Americana, seems to be. They have bands over from France and Germany and artists from all over the UK. Over from America. It's great. It's a real little,
Yeah, sounds
Sunpin Leaves played there. We played our first gig there in August 2019, and we hope to be returning there in February of next year.
Great.
Fingers crossed.
I'm going to try and make that show. I'd love to go see the venue, and of course, you guys again.
Yeah, well, we'd love to see you down here in Deal, and it's a nice place to hang out.
It's not far from Sandwich, is it?
Very close to Sandwich,
and
very close. And
Ham.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, Ham. It's very close to Sandwich and Folkestone.
Yeah,
and Dover.
When I first came over here, my wife and I did a lot of traveling around the UK.
Yeah.
And of course we went to Sandwich, and we had to go to Ham because the ham sandwich was my favorite.
Oh, absolutely. My favorite name for a town ever, I think, is about 10 miles from here, and it's called Women's World.
That's incredible.
You look it up. You Google it. It's Women's World. It's amazing. I haven't been there either.
Really? So
I don't know if I'll be allowed.
Exactly.
But it's just it's an unusual name. It's great.
It's great.
I don't know if there's a World of Men or something somewhere in the UK.
That's the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Gosh. All right. So I'm very excited about what's happening on November 5th. How are you feeling about it?
Very excited. Yeah. I mean, the lineup looks great, Pete. You've got.
So what we're talking about to tell the audience is, of course, Unknown Sound's first live gig is happening on November 5th at the Hope and Anchor, and it's in aid of Musicians Defend Ukraine Charity Foundation. We've got a really great eclectic lineup, including, of course, the wonderful Sunpin Leaves. And there's still tickets available if you guys want to check it out. It's at We Got Tickets. Just look under Unknown Sounds. You can find them. I think it's a tenner for the ticket. And of course, all the proceeds go to the foundation. And Chris, you guys will be starting the show.
Yeah, we're opening up, and so we can get the train home in a couple of hours. Yeah. But I'm going to stick around and see some of the other bands before I have to do the mad dash. But I'm very much looking forward to it, because November the 5th, that's a good, that date sticks in the mind, doesn't it?
Yeah. Most people remember it.
Yeah. And Hope and Anchor is a great venue.
Yeah.
A lovely venue, very historic. And the whole idea of raising money for a good cause is something I personally love. I think it's something that musicians should do when they get the chance.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to say a little bit about the charity at all?
Yeah, well, Musicians Defend Ukraine Charity Foundation. Now, it's based in Ukraine, of course, and it's a very unique one because it only helps, well, I say only, it focuses on helping musicians that are on the front lines. Because as we probably aren't really that aware of, people on the front lines in Ukraine don't have a lot of supplies. You know, some of them don't have the adequate armor or boots or even safety equipment. So Musicians Defend Ukraine, they take donations, and this is what they do. They help specific musicians. And I'm really happy to say, though, in the past, Unknown Sounds has done a few special shows just for Ukrainian music and to raise money for Ukraine. And a lot of the artists who are being helped by the charity foundation, we've featured on the show. So it's quite personal to me, and it's something that I really believe in.
Yeah, no, it's a great cause, Pete, and we're very honoured and delighted to be invited to be part of this. So thank you on behalf of me and Neil for including Sunpin Leaves in that lineup.
Well, man, we could not have a show without the Sunpin Leaves. You guys have been one of our biggest supporters of Unknown Sounds from the very start. I do really appreciate yours and Neil's support. It's been fantastic.
We try to give back, at least in terms of support, because we, in turn, we are very grateful for the support that we've had from you, Pete. You've played a lot of our music, you and some other members of the radio brigade, and without it, what would we have done in the lockdown if you hadn't been playing our music? Play it to our wives? No. They don't want to hear it. No, I'm joking, but you know what I'm saying. It's like, without you guys playing our stuff on the radio, that would have been a very sad and depressing and as a musician, lonely time. Yeah. So we appreciate it.
Oh, well, thank you for saying that. But the show is going to be absolutely fantastic. The other bands that are playing one of them is called Say Yes, Do Nothing. I'm quite to them, but they're really great. I went to see them at the Camden Assembly the other night.
Oh, yes.
They rock, mate. They're like country, punkish, poppy, really beautiful stuff, really heartfelt. It's like you'll be dancing along and having a great time, a huge smile on your face, and then listen to the lyrics and thinking, oh my goodness, this is really deep lyrics at the same time. It's really a lot of fun.
Sometimes I think juxtaposing a serious stroke somber lyric with a bouncy song or vice versa has more impact than marrying a downbeat piece of music with a sad lyric. It can become a bit of a dirge,
Oh yeah.
I hope we haven't fallen into that over the years, but it's something you keep an eye out for.
Yeah, certainly not. Plus, it's interesting on different levels, because at first you're going to hear the music and you're going to get into the music, and you hear it again, you'll hear different lyrics, and you'll keep. It's like an onion. You'll be unpeeling the onion and getting to the heart of the matter.
Yeah, I did. I know you made somebody was listening to on a radio show. It was one with a kind of a chat room attached, and they were saying, they were saying, oh, I love, Bodie. So, it's a lovely, upbeat, bouncy song. And I thought, well, if you listen to the lyrics, it's about a town that died on its arm.
Yeah.
And the guy who's scared if he doesn't leave, he'll never leave, if you see what I mean. But it's not for me to say, well, you shouldn't enjoy it for that. You should, because once the music's out there, people must, may make of it what they will, and it's only right that they, interpret. Obviously, if they interpret it in an outrageous way and said, "Oh, well, that's a song about misogyny," I'd have to kind of pick them up on it. But it's generally, people. I think it's a bit like, in film, you've got the auteur theory, where it's like you've got the author, but then the director takes it and makes it, their own, should we say. And you could say, well, once the audience gets hold of it, they make it their own, and I suppose the same applies to music. People have thought about, my favourite song of all time is Make Me Smile, Come Up and See Me, Steve Harley.
Yeah.
And people used to think that was a kind of a romantic thing and stuff. And if they want to interpret it that way, he doesn't mind. That's what. But it's really a song about adversity and overcoming challenges, shall we say? And so that that's how music works, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
You get out of it what you want.
Of course, yeah. It's like any other artistic endeavor. It's great. Yeah.
Paintings, yeah.
And the other bands that are playing, the Unorthodox band, which is real hard alt rock. Now, I shouldn't say hard, not metal or anything like that, but it's rock. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. And we're going to be ending the night with a little of I like punk a lot. You know that.
Yes.
We'll be playing Plague UK will be playing for us.
They're great. Nice, really nice guys again. And terrific musicianship. Even sometimes people don't always give enough credit to punk bands for the actual quality of the music, and the words.
Yeah,
but they're great. Plague UK, terrific.
Yeah, so I'm really, really excited about it. It's going to be a great night. So everybody spread the word and come down and see us at Anchor on the 5th of November.
Yeah, 5th of November, Hope and Anchor, a good cause and some good music, hopefully.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what it's all about. I'm gonna mention Bodie. I love the song in the video, so let's play that one now. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, great.
And that's off. Which album is that off of, mate?
That's off the 5th album, Altered States.
That's it. And here we go. Here's Bodie by Sunpin Leaves.
Closes for the final time. Too few customers, too much crime. Soon there'll be nothing but an empty mind and an empty saloon where the whiskies run dry. This was once a town called Bodie. This was once a town called Bodie. Passing through, I still see a ghost under a yellow moon that lights up every empty window I look through. Riding out of Bodie, leaving nothing behind except the empty promise of a golden time. Only sound I hear is the air as I breathe. I'm scared if I look back, I will never leave. This was once a town called Bodie. This was once a town called Bodie.
Another winner, mate.
You know, that song will always have a very very fond. I have a great fondness for that song. I'll tell you why. Because we recently won a award. It was the best gold award for international vocal duo for me and Neil in Atlanta, in Georgia, back in August.
And that was the International Singer-Songwriter Association.
The International Singer-Songwriters Association Annual Awards 2023, 5th year, I think. And back in, I think it was April, May, they asked all of the entrants to submit a 30-second snippet of music, which will be played should you win an award.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, actually, Bodie would be quite a good one, but we're not going to win it. But you've got to do it. It's like, it's not like Oscars, but it's like, you've got to make a speech, and so you've got to. And I thought that song kind of showed off me and Neil's voices, as a duo.
Yeah.
And I love the song, beautifully written. Neil arranged all the vocals on it and stuff. I kind of picked the melody on that, but he did all the the harmonies and the backing and stuff vocally, and of course the music. I went out there, and the truth of the matter is, some people think, I knew before I went out there that I didn't, and Neil was meant to come as well, but his house move went base over apex, as they say.
Yeah.
So I went out there and I sat there in the dark, and they were doing the awards, and we were about 2 hours in, and they said, and now the award for Best International Vocal Duo. And I was just thinking about how I was going to say to all the people who'd been sending me messages, and you got this and others, like, no cigar, but I've had a lovely time meeting all, American and international artists. And I've sat there with my waistcoat unbuttoned, because it's got a bit snug after a couple of hours. So I just sitting there in the dark, and just, the award goes to Christopher Brown and Neil Faulkner, and then it's right in, and gee, what?
Wow.
What? So I done my
Amazing
waistcoat up and get up to the stairs, and I managed to grab the award just as the music was finishing. then check the phone for the speech that I didn't expect to have to read. It was so anyway. It's a long story, but it will always have a very warm place in my heart. And for Neil as well, I guess, that particular song.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. And congratulations again on the award, mate. It's amazing, and
I really, honestly, really appreciate it. I could not believe it. I was just really so amazed and grateful, for like you have given us opportunities musically, and that was another, lovely opportunity. And it was a great trip. It was short, but it was a great trip.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's well deserved, and I'm really glad. You're the only one that didn't think you were going to win. You and Neil probably, because we all did. We all love your music and knew.
Well, that's very kind of you to say, and thank you very much for that.
And if you want to hear Christopher Brown's speech, it's on YouTube under Sunpin Leaves. It's really a touching speech.
Yeah, you meant to keep it to a minute. The Canadians go on a bit, I find. Not all of them, So, but and actually shows you how anal I am about trying to be professional. I listened back to, I think I timed it 59 seconds.
Oh, right.
So I could have got an extra seconds in there, something, a cough or something, maybe just stretch it out a bit.
And I did notice, though, that you did thank Unknown Sounds, so thank you so much for that.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it's I said we appreciate what you've done, and other people I mentioned, and
it was nice to be included. So thank you again, Chris. Yeah,
pleasure.
Okay, Chris, from the Sunpin Leaves, if people want to get in contact with you, what's the best way to do that?
Well, you can find Sunpin Leaves on Facebook, which is basically sun-pinned leaves, or you can find us on Instagram, Sunpinned Leaves with no hyphen in it, and I'll spell it. That's SUNPINNEDLEAVES, and we have a website called sunpinleaves.rocks. So you can find us on any of those, and of course, music-wise, we're on all the usual platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon, etc., etc.
That's great. And of course, you'll find them links to all their social media on Unknown Sounds on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're getting the name. We're getting the name out there as well. And if you want to listen to some more of their music, they're also on the new Unknown Sounds Spotify playlist. So every time we played you, we've got a playlist from every show we've done, so you can listen to the music without me jammering on.
That's right. And of course, let's not forget YouTube. Sunpin Leaves, like Unknown Sounds, are on YouTube.
That's right. Chris, it's a very interesting name. How did you come up with that name?
I suppose it's taken from a lyric from a song on the first album called Pisces Child. And it goes to Sunpin Leaves in the artist style. And I mean, it's kind of like, you know, maybe on a sunny day, if you're lying on the grass, you're looking up at the sky and you see the leaves on the trees, and it's like you can't see the stems.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can just see the leaves, and it's like the sun's behind them. It's like the sun is pinning those leaves in this kind of artistic way.
Yeah, it's a beautiful name. Very.
Thank you. Yeah, Neil chose it. I gave Neil, because artists can waste a lot of time picking a name, I feel, from those experiences. So I sent him a list of 50 options, and I said, if you're happy to choose one from those 50.
Yeah. Wow.
And that was the one that he liked. Okay. They were nearly all from song lyrics or names of songs and stuff that we'd done. And he chose that one. And I wasn't sure about it, to be honest with you. At first, I thought, well, it's interesting, I suppose. But I love it now. Absolutely love it. So,
yeah, it's great.
Well done, Neil.
Thank you so much. And again, that's Sunpin Leaves. You can find them on all the major platforms, anywhere you'll find your music, and also on all the social media networks. Thank you so much, Chris.
My pleasure.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play one more video on the way out. Okay.
Okay. So on behalf of me and Neil, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Chris. We really, really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.
Next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Clouds fill the sky in these ever-changing times as I take a drive to nowhere. This city's seen some rain, had its share of pain, but people around here, they still care. They won't be hushed, they won't be crushed. Reapers in the sunshine that soon will shine on down. Smoke is in the rainfall like tears from a clown, but it won't last for long. The city's got soul, city's got so much soul. I'm feeling kinda lost, the car radio's on, they're playing the locomotion. The lady calls me up, says she could use a friend. I second that emotion. We won't be hushed, we won't be crushed. Reapers in the sunshine that soon will shine on down. Smoke is in the rainfall like tears from a clown, but it won't last for long. This city's got soul, city's got so much soul. city's got soul. The sun is shining down again. City's got soul. The sun is shining down again. City's got soul. City's got soul. City's got soul.